Welcome, everyone, to session 0 for Road to WrestleDeep, a 5e experience with a wonderful cast presented by Creative Disarray Inc., hoping to bring utter nonsense and fun for everybody to enjoy. Creative Disarray is a project we're working on to produce TTRPG actual plays as well as custom stickers and custom artwork. Not by me, I can't draw for crap, but my wonderful wife Diz absolutely can. I am just the latter half of Creative Disarray, also known as Doc. I will push it over to everybody else to give everybody a little bit of time, starting with Amelia.
Hi, I'm Amelia. I or Hi, I'm Amelia Malcolm. I go by Disabled Dystopian or Amelia Malcolm everywhere on the internet. Uh, nice to meet you.
And
I'll toss it over to Phoenix.
It'll turn on. Hi, everybody. Taylor Danielle, aka Evolution Phoenix. Pretty excited to be here today to try D&D in a way that I never considered, which is wrestling. Excited.
we can pop it over to Danny.
Cool. Hey, everybody. I'm Danny Armendoza, all over the internet and in real life, because that's my actual full government name. I'm super excited to be here with all of you. You seem fantastic. I'm super stoked to play in this. And yeah, also really excited to do D&D wrestling. It scratches a very specific itch I didn't know I had, and now I'm very stoked to be able to scratch it. And that's me. I'm gonna do the popcorning now. I'm popcorning over to Louie. Hey, Louie.
Hi, everybody. My name is Louie, or Team Louie, or on certain platforms where Team Louie is taken, it's Team of Louie. And I also am a lifelong wrestling fan. I have some wrestling memorabilia right behind me. You can see my Samoa Joe down here. Um, and that's probably the only wrestling stuff I have right here. But yes, I too am scratching an itch that I actually wanted but never had the outlet for until now. And thank you for inviting me on this journey.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Last but not least, Nikki.
Hi, I'm Nikki. I'm Nicolade on Discord and nowhere else. Uh, I was doing flips off my sofa, having taken all the cushions off and laid them out on my floor from a very small time. So I'm super stoked to be able to combine my two lifelong interests. This is going to be great.
Yeah, and honestly, that's where it came from. So thank you, everybody. I've had this on and off, relationship and love with wrestling. I've always loved wrestling, but obviously the opportunity to watch it, with having more options these days and spending a lot of time in Japan where it really grew there as well when I was in service time and whatnot. My wife has always loved it very much as well. So I don't know, it was just this weird fever dream that came up to me after playing honestly, things like Ten Candles and Last Caravan and those types of base games with D6 is to why not throw people for a loop and let them be very narrative, have battle time and adventure time, but also really kind of dive into, just describing their dream matches as the dice let them and really exploring that as we go. So I guess I can kind of dive into kind of the persona sheets and that whole side of it for the cast and kind of how the match progression will go each time. But if anybody has any specific burning questions to kind of help them with the persona sheet or things like that, I can kind of oh, here it is. Hang on, let me adjust layout and whatnot real quick too. So I'm gonna take it to our first break ever. So hang on.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, good. I didn't break anything too bad. See, there we go. That's what session 0 is all about. Audio testing, technical difficulties, me breaking things, the cast being great. Everything's wonderful. All right, welcome. We did a couple introductions, Kaylee, but if you want to say hello and hi and oh no, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
Stories and stuff like that, how it's relevant to the human experience and development and all that other stuff. I'm a certified therapeutic game master. I run games for people that want to play more intentionally, and I'm a big advocate for like safe space and doing things inclusively for everyone. Everyone should have a space at the table, right? Um, I've mostly run like D&D and Fallout and Doctor Who. If anyone is interested in those, I can run those. And I will be running a Muppet-inspired TTRPG next week.
Hell yeah, you will.
Yes,
What?
I
That's
will.
amazing.
I'm
That is
terrified.
so cool.
It will be
What is
for
that?
That
What
charity.
is it?
sounds
I was saying,
awesome.
if you're allowed to say, if you're not, it's okay. But like, what is the TTRPG?
Uh, felt felt and feelings or something.
Felt
It's
and
a
friends
lasers
are
and feelings hack. I know it.
Yeah,
Nice. That's
yeah,
Ah,
awesome.
I'm so excited for you. It's so good.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So
I just see
basically,
Elmo as a warlock, and I'm in for it.
oh no. So everybody, what was it? Everyone has their own spin on their characters. We have, was it Test Tube, the Mighty Meat?
yeah, I'm ready to just beep the whole time. I'm gonna show
He's gonna
so
just
much
beat
emotion.
the
Just beep 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 beep.
game. And it's going to be sort of a mixture of the Muppets, the Princess Bride, and oh, words are things. Words are things.
And they're
Um,
hard.
They are.
they are hard. I have a little bit of brain damage. I have a brain condition, and it affects my cognitive. I can say cognitive abilities, but I can't remember the words for a simple sentence that I was about to say earlier. Um, the British comedy where they dress up as knights of the Round
Monty
Table, and then
Python.
they
Oh,
Monty
Monty
Python and the
Python.
Holy
Monty
Grail,
Monty
Python.
Yeah, yeah.
or
Python.
Monty
There we
Python's
go.
Flying
So
Circus. Yeah.
yes, it's gonna be a whole mixture of all of that, and of course there will be chickens,
As
Of
there
course.
should be.
as
Mhm.
there should be. So I don't know how this is gonna work, but we're gonna try.
Very
Oh,
carefully.
we'll
That's
meet
my
and
answer
beep
to
our way
everything.
through it.
No,
Okay.
no, the Muppets have never done anything carefully ever, so we have to embrace the chaos.
Yes.
Again, Elmo, warlock.
What a good lead into WrestleDeep. How's
I
embrace
know.
the chaos?
Right. Yeah. Embrace the exactly. That's all I'm asking
That's such
for.
a good
I will be honest.
tagline for
It's
it. Is
so
the
good.
Yeah,
thing
Yeah.
about
absolutely.
it.
Embrace the
Welcome
chaos.
to WrestleDeep. Embrace the chaos. It feels like we're
Absolutely.
doing a promo already.
Yeah,
That's kind of
yeah,
that.
I'm
I
gonna have to add that.
mean,
Well, it also keep your like promos in the bag because eventually I may kind of ask for some be right back cut to the match next after the break promos that are kind of shoot promos. So do keep that
Love
in
that.
mind and don't give me all of your tags, all right? Um
Yeah.
so
I
with that,
do.
yeah, Haley.
I do want to say that I have decided that I need my character to have a very specific thing, and that is pocket glitter. Because every
Okay.
time someone does something
Instead of
stupid,
pocket
he's gonna
sand,
reach in her pocket and
What
be like,
are we like siblings already? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, Roderick
Pocket
has the
glitter.
most pocket glitter out of anyone as far as
That's beautiful.
"It's a
No one has ever had
celebration."
more pocket glitter.
yeah,
you have to say it though
then
every
the
Beautiful.
time you
Valiant
use it.
twins, yeah.
If I don't hear like pocket glitter as soon as you throw it, like
Pocket
I'm gonna
glitter.
say above table. We have to redo that scene. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like
that's right.
it
Yeah,
has
no,
to be
Exactly.
re-roll,
Yeah,
Roll it
yeah.
back.
Take two.
Would
Take
be
two.
my
re-roll
magical
that
girl
narrative
moment.
segment,
You
please.
have to know. You have to know that as adorable as the pocket glitter is, in my mind, I just envisioned it, and it's the mist from Asuka, where it's, and they're just
So
like,
true. The Oscar Muta mist for sure.
What am I on?
yes.
That's amazing.
My corneas! It's the chunky glitter.
Permanent blindness. I'm sorry, we can't roll that. But yeah, no. As I was going through, if anybody has any questions up front, just with the persona sheets or anything from helpful or to be helpful, by all means, we can kind of go through those first
Uh,
and then roll in for sure.
I had one question. For the
Let it roll.
things that aren't in our normal D&D, like ring dominant,
Mhm.
read opponent, ring smarts, are we just putting like your intelligence modifier, your strength modifier? Is that what we're putting under those skills?
So yeah, and that's the other side. If you also want to think of it as you took a proficiency in this instead, because that like the persona is your main, like yeah, I do this and I'm an adventurer and I do that, but man, I am a wrestler, like the Batman thing where Batman is the real person and Bruce is actually the alter ego, that type of mindset. Then by all means, yeah, I'm okay if you want to choose a proficiency in one of those ones as well. Obviously, I kind of try to spread it out and have some even Constitution ones, which is not a normal skill thing, for sure.
Yeah, I moved into heart. That was one of my proficiencies that I moved into.
Yeah, and if there's
I don't
even
know what
any,
it is, but I took it.
yeah,
It's called
Yeah,
fighting spirits.
I already have pretty good heart. I'm wondering if okay, so just to make sure I'm following correctly, we're gonna have the same number of proficiencies as normal between our two sheets. So if we take one of the ones that only exists on this sheet, we take one away from our primary sheet. Is that accurate?
correct.
Cool.
Oh, I forgot to move stuff around. I need to update all my. Okay, buddy. That would be the old man trying
Oh,
to get
so
my attention.
however, on the other side though, I will say, so doing it that way, if you want to have an extra to do it that way, you do get everyone does get one persona proficiency that they want to take as well. So if that's all like an
Oh,
exist that type of thing.
okay.
Separate
Hey.
from the style thing, because I know like I took hardcore as the style. I know that gave me a +1 that I was able to put in one of two things, and I put it in last chance because I'm playing McFoley. What was I ever gonna do? But like
Yeah.
Yeah.
the separate from that, I can also put a proficiency on the sheet in one of the unique ones for this that isn't
Hmm.
one of the proficiencies I have on my main sheet. Is that accurate?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
How
Love
much
that.
efficiency boost? I've never built sheets on pencil and paper. I've only ever used D&D Beyond or like, Fantasy Grounds, or I've never built a.
It's just a +2
Yeah.
on whatever you're proficient in right now because we're level 3.
Okay, I'm gonna add
You
that
just take
to.
your proficiency bonus on your sheet and you add it to whatever you're proficient in.
Okay. Well, I already have a performance proficiency, I think. Let me double check. I do. So that +4 is gonna stick. Can
Can I
I
ask it?
put it
Good, good.
on displays of? So I have a +6 to display of strength. Put the proficiency there
Hmm.
since that's a specific for this sheet one.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
read my mind because I had a twofold question. One is how nutty are we interested in getting with proficiencies at this point? I know that's maybe an up to us thing, but like with this extra +2, I could take like last chance to +7, right? Um, are we cool with that? Is that something we're interested in? And also, could you talk a little bit about like what exactly ring dominance, display of strength, ring smarts, read opponent, like the specific ones here do?
Yeah. So I need to make sure I don't mix these up by going into my own text here. So like reading a poem, that's kind of like where it is intelligence based, kind of knowing kind of about like kind of the wrestlers and what like the moves they're gonna about to make, kind of in the moment of the ring, watching your opponent and knowing it, so you can use that skill to kind of add on. Like if you're gonna do a like reversal, for example, you choose to use a reversal and you're gonna use the read opponent because you know that they telegraph their haymaker, whatever it is. So you're gonna block that and then go to attempt your own move to try to take back and win the narrative. Even if they won the roll for the narrative, if you're gonna use one of your reversals for that, that's always gonna give you a bonus to that roll um, against them.
Cool. And what about like ring dominance, display of strength, ring smarts, heart, and last chance?
Yeah, so display of strength would be a big one. Obviously, you have a strong character, so like John Cena, picking the giant up, for example, that type of stuff where it takes a little bit extra. Like you really pull out something amazing, like you're, fighting a larger humanoid or creature. Or I throw a bear in there, whatever happens, I don't know. We'll figure that out as we go. And you go to suplex the bear. Obviously, yeah, you're strong, and you're crazy strong as a character. But that would be a display of strength. You're going to narratively be able to explain how you're using that skill to give you that little bit of a boost, if that's going to help you in that situation. Ring dominance is more of like, running the ropes, people trying to come at you, and they're running the ropes trying to hit you for a clothesline or lariat, and they're just bouncing off you because you're the dominant one in the situation. And it is more the titles and these skills is definitely more of like a narrative assistance to if you can explain to me why your narrative is going to say that you're using the ring dominance skill in that sense, then by all means, I'll let you add that to the goal to beat them out for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually decided to put that proficiency in ring smarts to take it from a -2 to a 0 because we did say that in her story she's already been a wrestler, so I figured she should have more than a -2 to her ring smarts just based on like years of experience. So now it's a flat roll. So I just
Yeah,
leave where I put that
yeah, and
proficiency.
stuff like that. Obviously, I kind of designed these to be more of a narrative push and assistance
Sure.
a um, than generally. Obviously, skills usually are kind of there are extra in proficiencies to get you out of sticky situations. So yes, that's the same concept, but at the same time, it's just to kind of help define your in-ring moments a little bit better.
For sure. I feel like there's no choice I can make other than heart or last chance. So what's your intention in differentiating those two? Like I understand last chance might be more situational,
Yeah, for sure.
but they otherwise feel kind of close together and they're both con based. So I'd love to hear more.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
kind of
I'll let you go. Go ahead.
yeah. So hard is also more of kind of like anytime throughout. So
Hmm.
that's why the situational difference is there, and it's more of just keeping that not losing one of your narrative, your dice, your ring HP dice pool. Whereas last chance can really literally save you if you have no dice, for example. If you're completely out, you hit zero because you get hit with a finisher. You only had two dice left, and now you're gonna use like your that extra roll because you didn't, you know, roll a critical or whatever it is. Um, so you use that skill instead to give you that chance to to roll out of it, basically.
Cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna
Is
do
there
heart, which is
anything that
gonna.
well, go ahead. Sorry.
No, no, go, go. You've been waiting. Go ahead.
Is there anything that is going to be like crowd control, like swaying crowd? Because that's kind of how I read heart, but
So yeah,
I'm hearing you say not really.
yeah. So I mean, there's other ways. I mean, like I'm also open to it. This is obviously very new and up for adjustment as we go along. So if you're, like for example, like you're like narratively you're talking about heart and how you use that is to get the crowd pumped up, like get them, you're the ultimate warrior shaking the ropes and getting the crowd to cheer for you, and that's what pumps you up and activates that skill type of situation.
Hmm.
Then yeah, that's how that would work. Obviously, if you're
Okay.
doing more of like performance or even persuading the crowd to get them going on the charisma side, those are obviously more of the kind of crowd involvement sides as well.
Okay.
But in my mind, yeah, like you could make that work as well.
So it might be more of like an endurance based or like physic because since it's con based, right? Like physically based way to try to tell that part of the story. Whereas
Yes.
you're saying the charisma stuff would be more about the persona performance in like a verbal sense.
Yeah, I kind of
Is
like to
that
direct to the
accurate?
crowd, like talking out to the crowd. Um, yeah, basically like trying to different. However, if coming up with it too on your side narratively, if you're you devise this wonderful way to get me convinced and good to go with it, then it's going to work for me
Hmm.
as well, obviously.
Can I ask scenario based?
For sure.
So tiny person getting the shit kicked out of them gets back up. Heart, persuasion for like crowd winningness.
Yeah, I mean that's how I would put it into hard as well. If you want to like use that
Okay.
reversal attempt, you get hit, you do get to take the full take the full flank, like they are successful in their attack or in that narrative moment, and you want to, like I said, not lose that die, like that's whatever you're getting pumped up, like slamming your fist on the mat or shaking the ropes or whatever, or even a call to the crowd that's not verbal, doing the thing to get them pumped up, and that's what really gets you going, and shaking
Okay.
the little fists around the ring, whatever it takes to kind of to work through that for sure. Yeah, to me, that would definitely be hard as well. I think the performance persuasion side is really that communication directly with the crowd of reaching out to them and taking a moment to talk, whether it's talking trash or whatever that looks like for you as well, to instigate with the crowd. You're outside the ring,
Okay.
and you know convincing a fan to kind of lead forward, so then you dodge out and they your opponent runs into them instead. What that type of stuff. Versus you like physically trying to pull a member of the crowd into the way, and now they're getting absolutely clobbered by
I've watched.
larger. So
Um, so when it comes to in the ring, it's my understanding that we're pulling from this sheet, which is fantastic, by the way. It's very, very cool. Which leads to a side question. Does that mean no spell casting in the ring?
that's the other side. Like if you have some spells that aren't gonna directly like murder someone, because it's hard to pull that off, but you're using it in a way that allows for that. Like you're like we talked about glitter being thrown in the face or a paint spray, that type of stuff going off to distract someone or throw them off, to reverse it or whatever, then that, yeah, absolutely. That's one of those things that's very kind of tricky based. A
Because I was
flash of
just
light or
wondering,
something like that.
I was just wondering if maybe when it's like the championships, if I want to slam somebody and throw some smite onto the slam, if I have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, if you're doing it, like I said, in a way that's keeping it with, I get my biggest thing on it is in the mindset of like, yeah, it's a fight, and so in a way, yes, we know that we're going through these narrative battles and using the chance of the dice and your narrative side of it and battling back and forth. So I don't have a predetermined outcome. Like I'm not calling the match to be like, oh yeah, Danny, you win this one, so just make it sound cool, that type of stuff. We're still
Right.
allowing that gameplay portion of it, but also adding to the fanfare of that, where yeah, you do pick it up, but you bring the pizzazz of it to slam them down, but you're holding back on it, so you're not utterly disintegrating them because they're a race that can't handle that,
Yeah.
or that type of stuff. Where now actually you murdered somebody in the ring, and now we have to have that conversation where you're probably not going to come back from here.
Yeah.
So,
I just
question.
because
Hmm.
What about like obviously not like championship matches, but like what if you're not someone who's in the ring and you're trying to help someone who is? So like if I wanted to do a little prestidigitation of like maybe start making noises in someone's ear so that way they're
Yeah.
distracted, or like cleaning the floor enough to where it's slippery or something like that. Like is that gonna be a possibility, or are we keeping the matches like once you're in the match there's no outside interference unless you're like hyping up the crowd or something like that?
No, yeah, so especially on the manager side, if we're going that route, like if we, having some, I haven't really figured out. We can kind of talk about that, whether it's like an extra reversal if you have a manager, or like your manager can, be a part of that to use one of your reversals as a distraction. So you do something like that. You reach out and give them a phantom wedgie in the middle of it, so they instead of a suplex, they just and they're freaked out. Or like you said, you're making that noise to distract them or whatever it is that you're doing on their behalf to make it happen. For sure. Or yeah, if
Oh,
somebody really into it, like there's just one of the teammates that's on the side, and we're all kind of involved with the event, but one person's having a match, and we want to throw a wrench into it.
right.
It'll
Are
get
we
the
gonna?
good reaction
Are
we
we?
like.
Do we have any interest in playing with the drama of unexpectedly joining a match? Obviously, not in a way that wouldn't have a consent above the table and whatever kind of planning was required. But since that's such a common trope in wrestling,
Yeah, no, for
yeah,
run-ins and stuff like that for sure. Yeah, whether that becomes like just a run-in because for the drama that we do end up taking them out because we don't really care about being viewed as the heel on that side, and that's kind of what your character's going for, or we kind of talk about it where it is kind of a pre-plan, that is kind of a pre-planned thing from the program side of things to kind of add to the drama. That, yeah, for sure, especially if all parties involved are okay with it, or yeah, I just letting somebody know to be kind of prepared because like I plan on throwing that in there, like, hey, there's going to be a run-in on this side, anyone's more than welcome to kind of jump over and jump that person or whatever it is to stop it, or just work it out that anyone is taking part in that from just the choice to go and start kicking the crap out of
So
somebody that's
could I, since I am primarily a bard, would I be able to like use like bardic inspiration as like a pep talk, or I don't know how healing would work as well in that, but like things like that where it's like it's still in the flavor of wrestling but maybe not directly doing, kind of similar like the smite thing. I definitely see me casting bardic inspiration and being like, get your shit together, or something like that, so you'll just
yeah.
like actually do that or something.
Yeah, so yeah, on the other side, if in between, like there's especially if they got the crap kicked, they're getting the crap kicked out of them because the roles are not going their way, and so then you kind of they happen to win a narrative, and then you step over, and like that's the moment of like, hey, like, yeah, like you just said, get your shit together, and that's your bardic inspiration, and it goes off, and but yeah, then they can get some of that bonus for, I would say probably not the narrative battle portion of it with like the D6s, but like roll into whatever their attack they want to be, getting even an extra bonus on that. And obviously that doesn't have to be just who you're managing. If like we're really in it and we're like whatever, it depends on how we're going to win the coin for this one. It's just performance, or no, we actually have to win and win our fights, or we're not even up for the coin from this event. Then it'd be a little thing of like, hey, can you get over there and like, oh man, dude is getting his shit stomped today. Can you just go over to the corner and just whisper a little bit something to to give him an edge, that type of stuff.
I'll give you a healing word, all right. Get your shit together.
Mhm.
Nikki, I think it's, yeah, your hands. Sorry, I was
Yeah,
looking.
Imagine
I
you
Okay,
I'm
give it to you.
trying
doing
not to cut
that.
people off. So, the, that brings up a point indirectly. What is the rating that you want for this game? Like, if you were to movie rate it, because I swore already.
Oh yeah, no,
I swear my character won't, but I swear a lot.
Mm.
So
yeah, no, like I said, I'm all right with Idiom being the mature. I mean, the channel will probably have the mature setting on there just anyway, just because
okay.
of, I mean, obviously a little bit on the violent side and
Mhm.
for language. I mean, I'm gonna end up saying fuck at least 4 times without even thinking about it because I'm looking at something else. Hopefully that doesn't offend anybody. If anybody wants us to calm it down, by all means, that can be very well brought up and worked on. I think everybody here is very open to safe table and making sure that everybody's comfortable and just having a good time for sure.
That's wonderful because my character is an awkward cursor because she grew up as a noble and she wants to be good at it, but it doesn't always land the way that
I
she
can't
thinks.
wait. I can't
So
wait.
That's
that
so
will
good.
happen.
That's a good choice.
I just
You
have to
fucking
say,
nincompoop.
hearing that
I
my
can't wait.
hearing that my hearing that my manager is an awkward cursor and I'm like an angry street urchin who was a barbarian before they were anything else, that's gonna be so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. But yeah, and like I said, on that side, it'll kind of, as far as the kind of the fighters, whatever that I put together and opposite. And if anybody really is comfortable and wants to go head to head for a thing, that's something we want to talk about moving forward after people are more comfortable with it. I'm not against that either. If we wanted to have, to anybody sitting here wants to have their character throw down in the ring with another character sitting here, then by all means we can have that conversation too. Obviously, I don't want to force that on anybody
Nice.
to put that out there.
Cool.
Even getting into kind of the tag team thoughts and kind of how to keep it going narratively and make it still kind of work functionally, whether it's like a 15 dice pool, whatever it is. Like I said, this is kind of an evolving thing that just my brain put together and I couldn't not put together and take a try at it. I am more than happy for it to evolve. If we're after a session, everybody here is like, Doc, that's the stupidest fucking thing. I don't like this part of it. It's too much, or whatever it is. Then by all means, I'm not going to be offended. I'll try it off screen. Don't worry about that. And then we'll make those adjustments for sure. I'm very very open to it, and fixing things as we go to make it work for everybody.
Hey Doc, I had to crank your audio all the way up. Can we
Same.
see
You're
how your internet's
pretty
doing?
quiet, yeah.
Yeah.
That's because I did a stupid again. Is that any better?
No.
Not really.
What in the world is going on back and forth with the audio?
There
Oh,
you go.
there
Oh,
it is.
now that's better.
That's
Yeah.
better? All right.
Yes.
Cool. Now I can take you off 200%.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I got too many sliders going on. But yeah, no, what I was trying to say is I'm very open to this evolving and changing as we go along for sure, and making sure that everybody enjoys it. So I won't cry too hard on screen if anybody wants to talk shit about it as we go for sure.
I have one more question
Mhm.
in regards to the sheets, and that's I read the finishers, but like I'm wondering rolling wise how that works. It may have been broken down and I just forgot because I have really bad memory, but um like mine are a little elaborate. Okay, well, is that one roll? Is that two? Is that
Yeah,
a
no,
series of rolls?
no, just be one per narrative, so you'll get the one maneuver. So if you choose that to be your attempt at the finisher, for example, and it starts off with a lift of some kind, make that in strength. If it starts off with a distraction, then we can work around with what that
Okay.
kind of goes with.
Both of mine are strength because that's her. They're either strength or like performance because that's like her whole deal. So
So yeah, if whatever Kaylee decides to get in the ring with Sith, and it is it's the glitter into the face, so dexterity, whatever it is we use, and then it's a kick in the knee, and then a running knee to the face, whatever it is, however you
yeah,
kick off your finisher is kind of what I'll base that on to make it as simple as possible, and not make you do like a bunch of
got
rolls
you,
to make sure that it's like good to go throughout the
got you. I can't wait to subject one of you to my special move. I'm very proud of it.
So on the actual on the actual sheet, there's finisher and there's special move.
Mhm.
So I don't know if this has already been answered, but what are like the differences between those?
So finisher is kind of like the end all be all. Like it takes away, like you have a chance to really put somebody out. So it takes away two of their dice if you land it successfully. So if you're down to two, you hit the finisher, they have no dice left. If they're not, working with last chance, then they're not kicking out. The match is over basically. Or if you put them, if they only had one dice left, you hit them with your finisher, like it's done. Like even last chance. If you're negative dice, it's game over, match over. Whatever you want to submit them or pin them or whatever you want to narratively, that'll be the end of it. Special is kind of more. There's two on there. It takes away one dice, but it's kind of what you're known for. So I used the Stone Cold reference before, for the stunner, obviously the finisher. Him jumping on top of somebody and just doing the rapid punches. That's more of like a special. Like Stone Cold's known for doing that consistently. That's a kind of a special move that he does.
Okay. Okay. So almost like if I had to, sorry, my cat just sat on my keyboard and made stuff go away. Um, so if so like just let me just put it into a term that maybe I can understand.
Sure.
So like five knuckle shuffle versus attitude adjustment.
Perfect.
People's elbow versus rock bottom.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So that good deal. Does anybody here have a top rope finisher? Okay.
No.
So
Oh,
one other person. Okay. I was trying to decide if I wanted to make my finisher an actual top rope finisher or not.
I just said the highest point in the ring, so it could be a person.
Okay. Interesting. So
That's super true. I didn't think
Can
about
it be
that, but
the
that is
top?
super true.
Can it be the top of my person? Like just get on top.
My special move is a partner move. Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean that's one thing, or how we want to work it out. If we end up doing we end up doing like people really want to do tag matches, we could also kind of, and if you adjust it in the future so your special becomes something else because now you have a tag
Mm-hmm.
move and that's what it becomes, then yeah, by all means, if like your
Okay.
finisher, like that's what you're known for, you're like you pull somebody in and like ego steps into the ring for you, like what the hell are you doing, and then you jump off of them, whatever it is. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
So I
I'm
have solo, finisher, and special move, but if anybody wanted to do a version of a fastball special
Oh
together
my
with
God,
my
Danny.
character
This is
Yes,
what
throwing
I'm
it,
yes, yes,
talking
yes,
about.
yes, yes.
like,
This is
can
you.
I throw?
very,
Because my whole thing.
You have to see
you can do it.
my
Yeah.
special move. My special move
Yeah,
is being spun around like a hammer throw.
that's
Um.
amazing. I love that.
So yeah.
I'm just gonna say I'm a
Um,
changeling, and even though I'm not immediately in the ring, if I have to be used as a prop, just describe the height that I need to be where I can
that's
literally change
perfect.
into anything humanoid, basically.
I
So if
could
I need
just
to be a tiny kobold that
you're
mauls somebody in the face, okay.
like, and now I just
That's
want to like,
perfect.
I wish we were more visual so I could see the look, like the ref, like the look on a ref's face when somebody hits somebody with a big hammer, and he goes around to find the hammer, and there's just somebody going like, I don't know what happened. This is crazy. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I don't know. There's no hammer here. What are you
You see
talking
me
about?
brushing my hair in the corner, like what?
Yeah. What's
Permission to tell you guys it. I can't remember special or if it's the finish. But evolution can involve you. It's the finish. It'd be so fun. So the finisher is called Dirty Dance. Called Dirty Dance. It's inspired by
I'm in.
Dirty
You don't
Dancing.
even have to explain it. I'm
don't even
in.
have to explain. You know what?
Yeah.
And I'll allow it. So
The
there you go. Continue.
finisher. The finisher is I pull my opponent, or in this case, a partner, close, uh, and then like so close that I like basically slam them into my body. Because by the way, I'm 7'10". um,
Yeah, that's awesome.
hold them at the hold them at the waist and hand in like a dancing position, do a mock dance, and then lift them into the air in a mock dance style. Then I pretend to look like I've slipped, move my hand from their waist to their back, and as much of an accident as I can make it look like, push them from however high up in the air they are down into the ground.
That's phenomenal.
That's
Yes.
dope.
Mhm.
I
So
have high
100%
yeah,
agree.
it's
acrobatics too, so
essentially like you do the lift from Dirty Dancing, and then at the end you're like, oh no. uh, all of her stuff is made to look like they were doing something performative and pretty, and then there was a mistake because her stuff used to just be violent. Because we did establish that she's been in this. Her original style was like hardcore powerhouse, where everything was bloody and violent and angry, and she didn't have finishers. She just beat you until the match was over. But now she's showboat and powerhouse, which is why now things are dancing. One of her special moves is a throw where it goes into like an arm wrestle, and she wins the arm wrestle, but she makes it look like you beat her, and then your body like tosses in that direction. Like her whole thing now is like, yeah, I'm strong, but I'm so not scary, because that's the thing that she's trying to like help
See,
people believe.
I love the idea that like you wanted to like do the face turn, and Vesper's whole point was like, I'll manage you. Well, how am I going to change people's perception with dance? Like that's the goal you have. That's what's going to change your entire
and
thing. I
as a
like
gnome, I
Dancing,
definitely
arm
would have taught you a
wrestling,
lot of
Joe.
court dances.
We've
She
kind of
she she
touched on this a
especially
little bit, but can we go over what everyone is playing and what your character names are before session 1?
sure.
Doesn't have to
it.
be now.
No, yeah, whatever. I mean, obviously we can go back to questions or anything like that. And like I said
Yeah.
beforehand, I know we talked about a little role play possibility today. I don't want to hold people past it and make sure we get all the questions. So Nikki did mention that she still wanted to do the younger years thing. If everybody wants to do that, we can absolutely still
Hell yeah.
time wise put that into the beginning of session 1 and kind of fade into the 10 years have gone by and we are where we are to head off on the adventure. On top of that, I will segue real quick before we get to the rest though. By the way, yeah, so using Roderick, obviously kind of a guide character, and no way gonna kind of I don't intend any railroading of the story. I mean the whole idea is already there of what the purpose is for everybody. But he obviously plan wise of where he thinks they should go, but obviously if anybody has the places in the realm that they really want to explore and think would be great for you know a slobber knocker, if you will, then we're open to making those adjustments and then doing some of the adventure stuff in the traveling points in between. Anywhere from obviously starting Baldur's Gate anywhere from there to 10 towns. I'm cool with whatever works for anybody if it, if we can get there. But yeah, if everybody wants to kind of go over their character, I mean, Nikki brought it up, so if Nikki wants to start and then go from there.
Goddamn. I don't have a
If you want,
surname
I
yet,
can.
but I'm playing Herbie. He's a halfling, accountant by day, uh, family man, trying to live out his dream. He is in the ring Manta Ray, who is modeled after Rey Mysterio, and he's a flippity dippitying acrobat
Just phenomenal
monk.
Beautiful,
in every way.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I've talked about her a lot, so I'll do the shortest version I can, and I'm sorry that I talk so much. I'm playing Elia, uh, mostly known by her original, or mostly known by her wrestler name Ego, uh, because they tried to call her Eradicator when she first came in, and she said, I hate it. So then they decided her Ego instead, which was supposed to be sarcastic because she didn't talk and she wasn't like performer. She was just athletic fighter performer. Um, she is a showboat powerhouse. Uh, she is trying her best for at her and think that she's cool. She's trying to be relatable. She's trying to be inspirational. But she was from the very beginning a barbarian, and if she ever slips into her rage when times are hard, depending on how bad it is, she might feel guilty about it later. She has one level in barbarian, one level in bard, and one level in paladin. And she is 7'10" because she is a Goliath.
Love that.
So basically, Rhea Ripley mixed with Bianca Belair and like much taller than Rhea Ripley.
Louis,
I think
you
that's
want
a natural segue for me
Oh,
since
actually, that is a good point.
Mhm.
That's a much better point. Manager, yes.
A
yeah. So I am Vesper of House Phoenix, so Vesper Phoenix. I am a changeling, but my mother is a changeling posing as an Azamar. And she is a scholar diplomat of the Cobalt Soul. She met my fire genasi dad, short name Ignis. He takes my mom's last name, Phoenix, because fired, all the things. You get the theme. And he's a mercenary knight. And so they fell in love, had me, but my mother is very much loving the noble standing that she's built for herself. And changelings aren't exactly everyone's favorite thing to see because they don't know who they're dealing with. So
Mhm.
I was raised to consistently pose as a Azamar with a little bit of warmth in my skin from my fiery dad. I just took his temper. That's about it. And so she is trying to find her way by being the polished daughter, but may or may have seen a wrestling match from someone who might already be sitting here and got very inspired to, get involved in some kind of way, but because of her noble standing and coming from a house of mages and knights and all the things, um, she used her diplomatic abilities and gift of gab as a bard, low-key fighter, because she's very much inspired by wrestlers, to help um, Ego with their challenges with temper. Somewhere, some way they meet up, either through I'm pretty sure it's going to be through my dad, and the entire time is very much admiring wrestlers and is like your towel girl trying to like make sure everybody's happy. I'll cheat for you. I don't care because I'm good at it. And may or may have an interest in jumping in the ring herself. We don't know. We'll have to find out.
Talk on over to Louis if you want to take it away.
Yes, so I'm playing Eldrian Valero, who is a half elf that was kind of he was half the fancy boy and but he didn't have all the perks of being like a high elf, so he kind of grew up on the streets. And that's the other part of him. So he's not fancy and elegant. He has a little bit of elegance to him, with kind of his voice and his mannerisms, but he refers to himself as a firstborn, and he is a um, he's a sneaky boy. His catchphrase is deceive, bereave, relieve, which is another way of saying lie, cheat, and steal. Um, so he likes to take the shortcut because he's not the biggest guy. He's only about 6'2". So he's not super huge. He's not super muscular, so he has to use his cunning to win matches, and maybe just a flair of magic. Um, and But he's very charming. He's a sweet talker. He will shake your hand while he's picking your pocket, um, and you'll love him for it.
So I have the Asterion hair, but you have the Asterion persona.
I mean, there. I mean, so. Question: Are you like a big wrestling fan? I knew based off Rey Mysterio, but like, are you a big wrestling fan beyond that?
Not in the recent like when The Rock first came out kind of deal, Stone Cold Steve Austin kind of deal, but like keeping up with wrestling like that hard, no.
I'm
I
gonna
know
give you
faces, I don't know names.
I'm gonna give you a
Rey
person.
Mysterio is me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, you're right. Sorry, you were Rey Mysterio. I'm gonna give you somebody to look up, and you'll understand everything completely. Are you ready for this?
Got my pen.
Eddie
I'm ready.
Eddie Guerrero.
Oh yeah, I saw you dropped that name a couple times. I
Yes.
will actually go look. I was thinking Tekken, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, Tekken, and then I kept moving.
Yeah, Eddie Gordo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Eddie
same.
Gordo. Okay,
A
yeah.
little
Sticky
No.
different.
nose.
Yeah, a little different.
Yeah, no. So just yeah, you look him up and you're gonna understand pretty much because I'm basically just saying copy paste and then like control A and then just replacing some things basically. Uh,
Here for it.
Nice.
I think Eddie Guerrero
Um,
survives just fine in this realm, so I'm not too not worried about
yeah,
it.
well, so it's funny because I had a couple of ideas for things like a Daniel Bryan monk or a Dusty Rhodes type because I've always wanted to just go into like a D&D situation and be like, now let me tell you something, baby. And but and so like I so that's what that was my first thought, but I was literally in the shower and the words Eddie Guerrero Rogue came to my mind, and I'm like, I can't
Oh,
think about anything else now. And this is exactly what I want, and I can't do justice to anything
That's
else.
awesome.
That's how the best, sometimes the best ideas are born. I mean, in
speaking
the
of real
shower, yeah.
wrestlers, Phoenix, we should definitely watch some Bianca and some Rhea Ripley so you can sort of get the inspo for Ego.
I know Bianca. So I
Okay.
got when you dropped those names, I was like, okay, because of course I'm gonna pay attention to the women in the space, cause hello. So
Listen, I only exclusively watch women's wrestling, so hey.
I know, Kaylee, do you want to go over the? I mean, I don't know. You want me to do a little bit of Roderick first, because obviously, kind of being an NPC, but guide in the same sense. Oh, we have video swapped. All right. Where do I gotta figure out this layout thing with screenage?
I have an idea for you after the fact.
Perfect. But yeah, I mean, if you want me to go over Roderick first, or if you want to talk about twinsies, that's fine with me. Whichever you want to go for first. You're muted, by the way.
I still can't hear very well, so if you need me to talk, you have
Oh
to
yeah, I
talk.
was just going to if you wanted to go over if you wanted to go over Rain, or if you wanted me to go over Roderick first, or I mean, I don't really even have to go
Okay,
over
well, I
Roderick.
mean, I don't mind. So Rain isn't exactly like Her name is Rain. She wants to be fancy and be called Rainstorm because that's just the personality that she has. She's not exactly a fighter. She's not really here for like glory or proving herself in the ring. She basically just follows her brother around to tell him what to do, and that she can do a better job than he does, obviously. Um, she's sort of loosely based off of Karlach. Um, in her personality, she's very much a bard, all about the show, all about getting everybody riled up, everybody excited. Um, she uses that to sort of like do a little bit of a tricksy and help everyone with like bardic inspiration, and you know, um, she's got a little bit of an agenda when it comes to making sure that her brother and his friends um get get treated well and have the ability to do what they want, what they love, right? So she's not really there to be one of y'all, but she will step up if you need help, or if someone says something to her brother and she doesn't like it. So she's more of like an entertainment kind of character. She's not really gonna be out here like, oh, I'm gonna fight you, whatever. She doesn't do that at first. She leads with joy, and then she
Mhm.
gets mad. So that's usually her the way that she functions. If anyone wants to have like a special kind of, I don't know, like relationship, or have any kind of like um special thing that she does for them, just let me know. We can talk about it. But
Mhm.
she's definitely the support character in this game.
Cool.
Perfect. And then
and,
I
and
will
that's it.
actually just let Danny go before I give a little bit of a rundown on. Well, Roger can list love.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing Miguel Lovato, whose ring name is Dude Kind. And it's just straight up Mick Foley. So what I'm doing with that though is that like Miguel Lovato is what I understand of Mick Foley as a person at a distance, right? So I'm a big fan of him as an individual. And it's a very like heart of gold, a bit more grounded than his in ring persona, like he's gonna have three of them, kind of, right? Dude kind is the name, but the description I have over here for the in-ring stuff: a hulking, scarred figure wrapped in a tattered leather vest over a kaleidoscopic, stained tunic. Dude kind is the vessel of the three-faced forest because he's a world tree barbarian. Uh, sensitive to the chaos of the fray around him, the face he wears shifts to meet and match it. When the cactus comes out, he doesn't just endure pain but thrives on it and hungers for it. When it's the trembling giant, his belief in how the world tree's roots connect all living things govern his every move, and when the weight of the world crushes him past breaking, what grows out of his wreckage is Sycamore Gap, a muffled voice crying out behind a mask of bark and briar, seeking solace in the dark, damp earth. So basically, he's going to have a little bit of different like presentation. What he can do mechanically is roughly the same, but it is fully Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and Mankind.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Is kaleidoscopic stained tunic, is that just tie-dye?
Yeah, it's just tie dye. It's fully tie dye.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's just tie
Great.
dye. Yeah,
Wonderful.
That's perfect.
yeah. Yeah. And moves. So I said I took style hardcore because again, what am I gonna do, right? Finisher. I have World Maw Claw is what I called it. So spectral roots. This is a little bit of hustle on my side. I'm not looking to add like extra mechanics to it. It's flavor primarily. Um, but spectral roots and branches grow out of Dude Kind's hand as it and they clamp into the open mouth and under the jaw of his opponent or opponents. I'm pitching here. Maybe you could do it to two, if I'm feeling frisky. This nerve hold causes excruciating pain and paralysis. The spectral roots and branches stifle the speech of his opponent or opponents. They look like a sock puppet of the world tree on Dude Kind's hands. So it is fully Mr. Sacco, but the idea is that it's a world tree Mr. Sacco, possibly in both hands, and just right here. And the only mechanical thing that I really would like to pitch for that is if I'm going against a caster, verbal components go bye-bye.
Oh, hell
Right?
yeah.
I mean, they do.
Yeah,
No, if they can't, yeah. No, there are, like you said, there are things I will stick to that people are normal to. Things like that. You got verbal casting and there's root sacco in your mouth. No, it's not happening. So yeah.
beautiful. The other thing, the special move I have right now, although again, I'm super down to change whatever I need to change here to make a fastball special happen because I love that. Is the kind clothesline. So the kind clothesline is a reckless charging attack where Dude Kind clotheslines his opponent or opponents over the top rope or off a ledge, sending both of them tumbling out of the ring to turn the tide of battle through sheer toughness. So he fully self-sacrifices in this, right? But it's because again, it's I'm thinking of mankind, like I'm thinking of Mick Foley off the top of the cage, right? Um, in Hell in a Cell. So that's Miguel Lovato, dude kind. He's not super bright or wise, but he's not negative on those. He's just like a commoner. He is very strong. Con is bananas.
Yeah.
Charisma's okay, and Dex is fine. And that's him. So he's got.
Love
He's
it.
gonna get hurt a lot. Everybody gonna get hurt a whole lot.
That's the goal. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. 52 hit points, so he can take it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that's the other side. Like I do talk about, we will, still sprinkle some regular D&D in there if we're, especially if we're during a match. Like I will still allow for outer narration. Like you're talking about
Sure.
Rogue. Like I don't know how Rogue lean you're into it. If Louis, your guy's sneaking around trying to do something because Roderick asked or Rain asked, like on the side, because segue into that. Roderick does think that he is in charge. He thinks this is his baby, like his promotion. He wasn't really feeling it as a wrestler per se, but his persona was there to be the boisterous promoter type and really get things
Mm.
going and work with the local promotions to make things work and get everybody in there and going. Uh, but he thinks
I
that he's
have
in
a
charge. Go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. I have a question because you mentioned a moment ago about, the potential overlap of some D&D into this. So the two feats that I took because he's a human. Sorry, I should have said that. He's a human. And so I was able to take an extra feat in there. Um, Tough and Tavern Brawler because it's Mick Foley, right? So tough to get the extra HP. Tavern Brawler because of the improvised weapons. I don't know what Mick Foley looks like without like a barbed wire bat, right? Or a
Okay.
steel, chair or whatever.
Looks
Does
like
that
this.
stuff apply in some fashion in the ring? Like, is there some way that it doesn't have to be settled now, but my overall question is like, was I right to think that that's a smart way to approach this?
Yeah, for sure. So if you're also like, some of those outside things, like obviously if it's like a damage boosting and things like that, doesn't really translate because ring HP, it's all, that's the kind of,
Sure.
in the world, it's also like, wrestling is predetermined type of thing, whatever you want to talk, how you want to look at it. So you're not really, yes, the damage is kind of happening, but not into the sense that you want it to be permanent or those types of things.
Sure.
So yeah, those can, work in there. I think if my biggest thing is when it's in match mode, if you're, the narrative reason and how you're approaching it, like if you're kind of also selling that, then, we can make it happen and see how it kind of, how it works or how you, or even if how you feel it should work in the moment, then I'm definitely open to that conversation and going forward with those things. Absolutely.
Cool beans. I mean, I'm good with whatever the answer is. I'm just the only reason I took Tavern Brawler was for that. So if Tavern Brawler didn't have a thing to do, I might switch the feat. But it doesn't have
No,
to be a now thing. I just brought that up.
yeah, no, yeah. And if you have some ideas even of how it kind of works out in that, like I said, it's also a very um evolving thing. So I obviously I don't have all of the like in my brain all the feats that were possible and all these things like that to kind of go through. So,
Sure.
but
I
yeah,
have one question about special moves.
Mhm.
So with special moves, to answer somebody's question, it's a code red 0 sugar. So
Oh, I'm no
with
longer jealous. All right.
well, so the when it comes to the special move, so I put something similar to the Three Amigos. If you're a wrestling fan, you know what I'm referring to. But I called it the Gilded Trio. Could I potentially put a slash and just put the Gilded Trio slash cheating? Because Eddie Guerrero had this unique thing where he would get wins off of these weird little cheating things that he did that weren't necessarily finishing moves or special holds. And so I feel like it covers a wide spectrum because
Yeah.
he would get he would get a pin off of a roll up that he did because he made the referee think that the other guy used a weapon, or he would at the same time he might get a pin because he's distracting the referee and low blows the guy behind his back and pins him. But there's such a wide gamut. So would you be okay with me technically having two?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to call it like, cheap shot or cheat and just keep it general and that type of thing, and then, you walk it through narratively, especially if it's after, like you said, if it's after, your opponent's down to 3 dice or less in their pool, and you want to, pull that out and, it's a low blow into a roll up, that type of thing like you described, or tossing them a weapon, hitting them with a weapon, then or hitting yourself with it, tossing it like all the things he's ever done with belts or whatever it is to get the title. Um, yeah, and that's how it works out. And they go for you roll, go for the pin, or it is a DQ in that case, that situation. Then yeah, by all means, I'm open to that.
Okay, all right.
I'll be honest, I can be convinced with a good narrative push and story in pretty much anything. I'll be honest.
Well, yeah, well, because he was the type of guy that's he wouldn't necessarily do it every match.
Oh, for sure.
Whereas John
But
Cena or Stone Cold Steve Austin do the Thez press or
yeah,
the attitude or the five knuckle shuffle every match. But Eddie Guerrero wouldn't necessarily do it every match. Sometimes some matches he just won by, you know, with cunning.
but hell's when he did do it. It was a beautiful thing to witness,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Um, but then on that side, segment back so I don't forget. Yeah, Roger, he's just very thinks he's in charge, still super charismatic and wonderful, but thinks that the the ground that he stands on when he pushes for something, he thinks it's all him, and chances are it's either because Liflug is standing behind him, or one of you, or Rain has already handled the situation and he didn't know about it, so he thinks that he was just successful and he's why everything's going on. Liflug, that's the other side. There was just Liflug is just a half orc that they were in the orphanage together with Rain. Not really sure who their parents are, and Liflug is just there. So he does, well, he lifts and he lugs. He does all the heavy lifting for a lot of the gear and stuff to get into the carts, moving it around and getting where everything needs to go, or being a bodyguard, up until hopefully he gets a team that trusts him and has some more force and willingness to support that role behind him. So that's kind of where those two are at. And I did kind of, like I said, I gave the Roderick. I kind of did the character sheet. I don't know if that's really something that if he ever does step into the ring or is in that situation, then I'll go off that. Or I was just trying to make a quick example so everybody had it and kind of go from there. But I guess we shall see. Uh,
I have a question about Roderick.
go for it.
Obviously, not something that needs to be answered right now, but well, I have questions. Was Roderick involved when we saw this all as kids and were inspired?
Yeah, if he was there, I think he'd probably be around like 15 or so, somewhere in there at the time as well. So that's kind of the moment that he was like, oh, we could try this and we could do this. And that's what sets him on the path to starting the Valiant Wrestling promotion.
Okay. So one thing I would love to brainstorm with you is like, what's their relationship like with her, rising, doing the thing, leaving, and now coming back? Like, I would love to see what that sort of like role play dynamic is.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it's like, I think,
especially with the understanding that she's only coming back so that she can do well and then leave again. Like, because she's not the kind of person that would bother to lie about that.
Yeah. And I think right out the gate, he would be the type to, I mean, not even maliciously, but to your face, be like very, and want to support you, but at the same time, in the back of his mind, being like, oh my God, I got somebody to sign up. I've got more people to sign up. Yes, yes to everyone that will sign, type of thing where he's very much understanding that he is also reliant in that sense on building the team. Um, but at the same time, it's not like I said in a way where he's like a malicious character who's just trying to like trick everybody. I will give everybody that. It is very, very dream oriented that this is what he wants to do. Uh, very well aware he can't do it himself, but he is willing to work through. And obviously, if he hears that and the idea of the story and how wonderful that would be overall, would be great for the promotion as well to have such a turnaround and have such success. Not let alone the team making it to WrestleDeep and holding championship belts above their heads, whether it ends up being singles or tag teams or hardcore, whatever we end up in. You never know.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to sort of put that little seed out there, you know. But that was all. I love these characters. Everybody's.
But absolutely, yeah. I haven't even got like full backstories, but even just getting the gist and obviously having conversations with some and getting tidbits, I'm already even more excited than I was before. Yeah, and obviously, having the moments where we've kind of connected or I've kind of connected some dots and hoped it worked out. So I'm glad that you and Phoenix even took that and whatever running with it. That's great. That's what I like to see. I'm very open to, this. I have the bones and kind of some backdrop information and obviously putting things together a little bit of trap snags and adventure thoughts and pieces in between. But this is very much the story of the people and their characters and their personas sitting here for sure. And however you want to make it to WrestleDeep is fine with me. Hopefully we make it to WrestleDeep. Obviously, I don't want to end up the big
Hopefully.
show. No, no, we'll make it there one way or another. Ironically, I did, I know we're starting literally on day one of WrestleMania. That was, half intentional, so maybe we'll keep that momentum going with that. And it was actually making that joke that WrestleDeep came to be. I was like, WrestleMania, Waterdeep. Oh shit, WrestleDeep. That's amazing. I'm amazing. So that's literally where it actually all started from. And then, we're all sitting here, so I'm really super excited for it. I mean, like I said,
As
letting
far as
people
us all making it,
yeah,
no, go. I spoke.
yeah, spoke the truth. Yeah. No, yeah, like obviously that's a goal. I mean, dice do what they do, and story goes where it is. But I obviously just want people to have a lot of fun and test out characters that maybe don't fit in other things because it's just kind of a wild world to me. And wrestling is that larger than life thing, and where what realm could you be more larger than life in and bring that kind of energy to than something like this? I think it meshes really well, just letting it go and having fun. Yeah, even on the personas, I letting people kind of not even narratively explore things, and still occasionally kind of have the battles and whatnot on the traditional D&D side. But shoot promos and things like that, I think can just be fun and letting people really, all of you here, have fun with it and go with it. If anybody ever wants to, you know, if I do get approached, reach out to people and there's some guest spot stuff like that, we can kind of throw in there and some crazy character things where they want to jump in and really mix as well. Then I think we can do that. I haven't gotten as far as like planning what a friggin' battle royale looks like, but if those are things that are of interest as we go along that we want to even sidebar and discuss in between and really work that out mechanically of how it fits, then once again, also there, really, really happy to have this grow. I don't expect to publish this anywhere and sell it on drive-through or tabletop, bookshelf or anything like that. But if it works for us and it's something even anybody here or else wants to take it forward and use it and make it something else, then I'm totally open to that too.
Oh, I have a quick question.
So, for sure.
Um, is there any direction on like starting inventory outside of like travel stuff, like special items or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, if you got especially like an heirloom, that's like a magical item that you want to choose, whether it's tied, wait, really, whether it's tied into backstory or not. I mean, if your backstory is that you know, it was bartered to you and you stole it off a body on your way into the town, whatever, that's fine. But I would say that I would probably going with do the usual kind of starter stuff plus that, but I may look at some gear options is something I've been kind of playing with as far as kind of what the promotion can kind of provide if and
Mm.
those types of things. But yeah, if you're wearing gear that obviously boosts other things as well, and that comes along, and we talk about those, or you're awarded those through other
I have a
adventures.
self-mending outfit. That way it's never messed up. It's
Yeah,
very
and
much
yeah,
vanity. It's
that's
very
fair.
vain.
Um, if we can have an item, there is one that I I'm if I remember correctly, I think it's called the Charmer. It's essentially like or glamour armor. That's essentially what it is, or like even the cloak of many fashions. Just something where like she can change her outfit, so that no one has to know that despite her success, she's still pretty much an urchin.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like you want it to be,
That'd be cool.
something that you find really based in that helps the persona side. Yeah, absolutely, you want. But if you're, still
Yeah.
thinking tactically because you don't trust me and you know that I'm going to throw some random stuff at you as well, then by all means, pick an item and let me know, and we'll go over that as well. Because
I
yeah,
have
there's
nothing but
still
a pair of bejeweled pants.
a pair of what?
That's bejeweled
The
pants.
jewel pants. Hey, rock and roll. Divorcee accountants,
Mm.
what can you do?
Nice.
They're
Uh,
they're homemade.
Nice.
but no, yeah, those options will still be there, whether it's kind of rewards from the show, like, purses, it's gold, or it's also items depending on like what town we're in and how they kind of go about that, or we're, on an adventure in between and I don't know, maybe some goblin stole our coin stash and now we're screwed to WrestleDeep if we don't find them. Who knows? Who knows
Mhm.
what's
Damn goblins. Every
Mm.
time.
every time.
If you want, if you want, like Rain can be the one that like mends everyone's clothes. Maybe she puts like a
Cool.
little bit of a sigil in there for like protection, or just for safety, not for like cheating or anything.
But hey,
Just
yeah,
making sure.
we're in a world where we know what's happening, right? So if we're not cheating,
Yeah.
we're just keeping the even playing field. That's all.
We're not
But
cheating. We're putting on a great show.
that's
Right.
an interesting
Yeah.
pattern on the butt of your pants. What is that
Embrace the
for?
chaos.
Exactly. Brace it.
Also,
You
I'm
guys will never be
I'm just gonna
bloodied
put
because
this
I'm
out here.
absolutely going to make it look like you guys are not getting hurt ever. Just to freak people out. Like, I'm hitting you, right? Right?
Yeah.
The
That's
only one
awesome.
that gets
I'm just
blooded
gonna
is
put
the
this
two
out
times.
here for fun.
Mm.
Uh, Considering Danny and I probably within the next month or two are gonna be playing with each other twice a week in the near future, it's gonna be very fun to see our astronaut characters dynamic versus our WrestleDeep characters dynamics.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Although I think Idol said that we're not starting that till September, but it is gonna be very fun for us to be able to when it.
Oh, Idol never gave me a start date, so I was just like, oh, okay, I guess we'll start whenever we
It
start.
feels like
I
we're gonna
was
start tomorrow, the way we're all talking about.
Yeah, everyone's
Yeah.
so and like I was just like, oh, when is it starting? And she said TBD. But also she's not the GM, so we
Right,
really
right,
don't know. Because she
right.
said that well, she's the producer and the slot of another thing. Anyway, I was just thinking about this because I'm like, it'd be very funny if our characters, like, I'm not saying this is necessary, but like the way things what if we end up being like rivals and then we accidentally have character bleed on like our Tuesday game.
I like that.
And
That's really funny.
I'm like, I'm dying and you have a health potion, and you're just like, nah, fuck you, because you think you're talking to Elia, but you're talking to Mar. And then just on stream I have to be like, Danny, this isn't that Saturday.
No
It's a
meta memories,
different
Danny.
game. Exactly. That's
But
funny
now that
shit.
you said that, I'm just gonna communicate in meeps with my brother now.
That's our
Yep.
secret language.
Yep.
You
I
have to,
love that.
you're
It's
gonna
our
have
twin
to.
language now.
That's
Mass
gonna be
twin
have to.
telepathy in full work.
Yeah, that's gonna be a skill for later. You have to pick up and a choice to learn that language.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like,
Um,
are they okay?
they are very much
They're
not.
the most okay. Yeah.
No.
If you look at, they think they're okay. They think they're on cloud
They're
nine, but they are absolutely.
fine.
Yeah.
Meep
Neat.
meep.
Yeah, that'll be
That
fun.
would be too different from
What was that? What are we what?
I think the response was just meep. I think that's what was
Oh, all
happening.
right, all right.
Me, me. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun to go from that directly into to session one. Hopefully, I don't just out the gate start trying to meet through the intro and jack it all up. Um, but I think it'll be fine, especially at this point. Yeah, and at this point, I know we're kind of getting 10 minutes out, so I think we'll. I mean, if everybody, I know I had some show of hands, and it goes enough for me to kind of start off as kids and then fade into
Yeah.
the future if everybody wants to do that. I really give people that opportunity. Like I said, I really like to use a lot of times session zero becomes multiple things. Obviously, this one just being very informational and then going forward is great, but I also like to use it for that a lot. I like to do that intro portion when people are their younger selves and really kind of, I mean, even if it is bonuses. I think the one thing about this, some of the numbers seem high and the bonuses seem high, but at the same time, like as I'm creating these NPCs and characters and stuff like that, they're going to fall into the same realms. So it does balance out in a way. But if you are well matched up and you're just absolutely dominating because that's how it rolls, then hey, matches like that happen, and I'm not against that happening and rolling through that to be a little bit more. I don't know if realistic is the word, but uh,
Hmm.
more true to life, art and life and imitations for sure.
Cool.
With that, which I guess I'll just give the quick rundown as far as match. I think hopefully I laid it out as well as possible. If anybody needs any or has any questions as we kind of approach, if you read through it through the week leading up to next weekend, and obviously we can talk about schedule and stuff like that, how we want to approach. I know there's still some dates that not everybody can be there at the gate. I'm just trying to make it work. If we do have to take breaks and delays, obviously I don't want it to ruin anybody's fun, or hopefully nobody just forgets that fast. But I also understand life is life, and everyone here is a person first, and I mean, that comes first. But if you're coming up and you have an idea of kind of how you can be in the background, you're okay with us going. Like I am totally open to setting up a week in between, like shadow session with just one or two, or those involved, or side adventure type stuff, and quick little
Mhm.
offshoot one shot type stuff. Yes.
I would like to issue my very first complaint ever. Please accuse me of personhood. I am not a person first. I am a collection of characters in a trench coat.
That's fair. That's fair. The legion or person or collective that you are, uh,
I gotta say, we are
your
bored.
livelihood in life comes first. Yeah,
I know. I'm just being a goof. That's all.
no, you're fine.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Absolutely. Um, so yeah, it's kind of the match flow real quick. Obviously, attacker versus target, like I put, starting off with the ring HP of 10 dice, D6s. Basically, we just roll that whole pool against me to start with. Let's see if we ever do any PvP stuff, or everybody wants to go head to head, we can totally work that out. Whoever has the most sixes goes to that. If nobody has any sixes, you just do a re-roll, and then it comes down. So even if I have absolutely none, which literally already just happened, so I'll punish those dice later. If that happens and you only get one six, hey, that's fine. You're in narrative control of the match. If you want to walk through some stuff, you want to add some flair and fluff, like off the rub stuff, when you get to your and declare kind of your big move of that segment, then we roll for it. If it's a big slam, you're rolling for strength. If you're kind of bouncing off the ropes, to be a dex acrobatic thing, whatever it is, roll for that. Um, just like you kind of would for any challenge in that sense, depending on what you're doing, how crazy or impossible or easy the roll is going to be. That can kind of go in many ways. Obviously, the bigger portion just being that really the narration side of it, kind of letting you flourish and get as amazing or simple beat down as you want with it. Having like the reversals and things like that, which obviously you can spend on other attempts and stuff like that, or your last chances, or your heart and those types of things. That the same thing. You're just whatever. If you're using up one of those reversals, then whatever you're trying to do to reverse it, you roll for it. If you beat out me on that one, then you you're the one that lands the hit. I will lose. My NPC will lose a die. If
Mm.
I am unsuccessful in the actual attack, you just re-roll the narrative, and you don't lose a die. if you reverse me or go to do the reversal or whatever it is, and you fail in that, then also it's just kind of like a cancel out as well as far as that goes. I'm not going to lose a die on my side. We just roll for narrative again. So the caveat being there that the negative is that now your reversal is gone and kind of fell flat for you. And that goes on until you get, like I said, when you get into one character or NPC has the 3 dice, down to 3 dice in the dice pool. That's when you can really kind of try to finish the match, whether it's, pins, missions, whatever it is. So yeah, if you're using your finisher a little bit early because somebody has 5 dice left, but you hit them with the finisher, so now they're down below that 3, you can still go for the pin. And as they lose dice, or depending on the situation, obviously the challenge goes up to try and allow for that, or break the submission, whatever it is that you're kind of focused on.
That all makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously we get into like hardcore stuff if there's certain things where it's a little bit more danger to it. So you're getting hit with a weapon. Maybe we look at, that you have a higher chance of losing multiple dice depending on what that is. If you're getting hit with a barbed wire tree branch or a torch to the face or something like that, obviously that could be a little bit more detrimental. And we can go from there. If on the reverse we talk about add more to the dice pool originally, those are the types of things I'm talking about. That if anyone here is really interested in exploring that, I am more than happy having a conversation and working it out and letting all of that fly and letting everybody have fun in all the ways.
Gotcha.
Does anybody else have
So
anything else?
we're using the persona sheet in conjunction with the character sheet, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Persona sheet, I just got to develop to make it as easy as possible. You have, your information all consolidated for when you're in match and mode. So you're not trying to think thematically and work through that narration while also trying to, figure out your stuff on a character sheet that's not really designed for that. So in the heat of the moment, if you're like me, sometimes you need a quick glance to remember what the hell your finisher is and what that even means, or just what your in-ring and in-match score totals are, because they might be a little bit different from your character sheet, that type of stuff. I just made it as consolidated as possible, so it was easy to roll through while we're focusing on that.
Again, might have some questions about it just to make sure I understand it perfectly well, but I'll do that off screen.
I have a dumb question, though it might
No,
not be
no
dumb.
such thing
Okay.
here.
What if when we're what if we're outside of a match and we're in like, oh, we got robbed. We gotta go fight the guy who robbed us, that kind of thing. Decide, oh, why don't I do my finisher in a traditional D&D combat? Like, would it still be the same of like just a strength in my character's case, like stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're using it as an actual attack, we would just kind of, go with like obviously the devastation and depending on how well it lands and how well the roll is and those types of things, and more of that out of the ring scenario, and kind of what the damage looks like. Or like for example, if we have dude times out of the ring and he knows someone's about to spell cast and he just diverts back to his finisher and shoves roots in the mouth, they're not going to verbally spell cast anymore. You know what I mean? That works for me too. That type of stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Just imagining some bandit in a cave and her
Yeah,
pulling
no,
him into her Dirty Dance finale or finisher,
which
you know?
yeah, getting into like that actual like grapple mechanic outside of those types of things and all those different types of things you can look at for like unarmed combat and doing damage like that. Obviously, if you're from over here and you're going to put him in a finisher and you crit roll a goblin, you might, absolutely splatter them against the floor doing your finisher. I don't know. That's absolutely with it. That to me, that's something that would happen for people that are always wrestling and now they're going to go in a real fight. Sometimes you default to your muscle
Yeah.
memory and now you're wrestling in the living room of a goblin's cave.
You just got a side goblin going, oh,
Yeah.
this is real. Oh, they're not faking.
That goblin is not getting back up. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
You're fighters, you can't really fight. Splat. Oh my god.
yeah. All those shoot promos where people really keep the kayfabe alive and slap reporters. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How much can I play
It's
with the
always
abilities being different on the persona sheet versus my character sheet? It's to that point.
What do you mean?
Meaning, if I were to move my dex score for non-persona, so if I'm out of persona, my intelligence goes up, for instance.
Oh, yeah, we can look at that. Like as far as like you're like literally, um, like you said, literally switching who you are as a person, like going into a
Yes.
completely different mode, going in like back into accountant mode. Yeah, we can explore that and
Okay.
I mean, offline, not hiding it from anybody. If anybody else has stuff like that they want to talk about, yeah, for sure,
Mhm.
we can definitely. The mask comes off, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, gotta go crunch those numbers. Then
And
you're
then
like,
you're a
right
little
back to yeah,
weenie. Yeah,
yeah, you
that's
get
what I'm
Mhm.
trying to
yeah,
go for.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that works for some people. It's there's a lot of cognitive stuff in that where people put themselves in a position when mask comes on, and they're ready to rumble. Trademark, don't say that.
Hmm.
And go forward. So yeah, Lou,
I
if there's
just
any
want to
persona,
do Rhea Ripley's Riptide with a Smite attached.
hey, whatever works. Like I said, I could be really convinced with the rule of cool and and good narrative and theatrics for sure. I'm here for the story.
Love that.
And Lou, was it type persona questions? I mean, if there's anything that's obviously could be helpful.
I mainly have questions about the skills. You kind of answered a little bit earlier, but I just want to I want to double check. But I
Mhm.
feel like it's going to take a little while, so I would rather do it when we're not recording.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I got time after this. I'm just keeping um,
sure.
to the time as much as possible where we're at that mark. Yeah, and if there's any questions about the next week, and shoot me if I need to jump onto calls. The only thing I really have going on is Last Caravan on Tuesdays as far as filming, other than this coming up, stuff in the future. So should have plenty of time, other than my new job as well. But I'm not super into being on call or anything yet, so I got plenty of time to hop on to score calls or even just going through text chat, whichever's easier for you. I'm wide open to helping with that as much as possible.
Hmm.
Okay. Phoenix, do you
Thank
have
you.
time after this to chat character stuff?
I don't, but see, this I've been moving in the background. When this is done, you're about to get a message with a nice little document for you, so that way you can read it and see what you want to switch and change and all that kind of stuff like that. But I'll have time
Cool.
throughout the week though. But I have school stuff I gotta finish
Cool.
after this. So
Yeah, and
Yeah,
on that, if
gosh.
anybody
That's
wants to
awesome.
send, is trusting in their DM to have a full fleshed out backstory and all your little
oh,
secrets,
you got a
I'm
message
happy
waiting too.
to I'm ready to receive those for sure. A persona wise or character, and like I can switch this on the recording, and then I can just stay in this room. So if anybody wants to drop out after this in the next couple seconds, then that's cool. If anybody wants to do a quick plug that will remain, I'm okay with that as well. Otherwise, this has been an informational, hopefully session 0 for the road to WrestleDeep with Squared Circle Odysseys. All right, Creative Disarray Incorporated
I'm
and the
so
gang.
scared what you're comparing.
I'm excited.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah, me too.
All right. All right.